My name is J. Owen Eisenberg, and I am an actor and an illustrator. I have been dealing with my own sort of mental health issues since I was about maybe 14 years old. The very first kind of encounter I had with my own mental health issues manifested in the form of eating disorders, which stemmed from a lot of dysphoria related to my body. It started right around the time I was beginning to go through puberty as a young female-bodied person. And I just remember being very uncomfortable with it. And I felt like it just wasn't right, it was nothing that I wanted, and my coping mechanism for that was restricting eating. And eventually it got to the point where I was in high school and I had lost a ton of weight and I was over-exercising a lot, and it just felt like the only way I could really exercise control. And that continued for the next few years as I began to come to terms with kind of the origin of it, which was related mostly to my gender identity. And once I kind of came out as transgender and realized a lot of these eating issues are related to the fact that the body that I'm in just doesn't feel right to me, not necessarily because of the size of it, but because of these parts that are developing in a way that just doesn't feel like myself. I feel like it can potentially sound kind of trite sometimes to say that things will get better. I don't think it's possible to really reach a point when suddenly everything's okay, but there will be points when things are okay, and you've already made it through so many days that seemed absolutely impossible and lived to tell the tale. So there will be more of those days, but just knowing that you've already done it once or twice or dozens of times, I think is really empowering. And I wish that as a 14-year-old someone could have told me remember those days when you felt like you couldn't get out of bed? You did eventually, and that's enough. Even if all you can do that day is just go for a walk around the block, that's enough. You are so mighty even when you think you are at your worst. You are okay.